Another screencast about how to use the Ramsburg Scout Reservation online portal. My name is Jeff Cox. I am the reservation director, and in this screencast I would like to teach you how to update and make changes to your user account information. So let's get started. The first thing we have to do is sign in. We go up here to the sign in link, click on sign in, type in your email address. If it doesn't happen to already have it in there like it does for us, I will again be using my son's email account and adding, and of course then also typing in the password. Type in your password, click sign in, and now we're logged in. And again, things to point out when you're logged in, we have additional things to click on up here. We can go to the control panel directly. If you have communities that you're a part of, this is where you will find them. This account happens to be only a part of the default RamsburgVSA.org community. And if you were with me in the screencast where I talked about the adult leader community, you saw where we added this account to that community. And then also down at the bottom, there is the ability to chat with other people who are currently using the portal, as well as set your current status or some settings about that. All right, so let's go ahead and click on our name to get us to our account information page. Okay, so we can pretty much change everything about our account, but there are a few things that we cannot. To begin with, we can change our name. For example, let's go ahead and change Tristan's name, since when I created this account, for those of you who are paying attention, when I showed you how to create an account on the portal, I spelled his name incorrectly. So let's change it to the proper spelling, as well as let's add a picture. So as you just saw, to change your name, you simply click in the box and edit it. Notice that once I click out of the box, that we now have this modified, this green modified next to it. If you do not click save before the end of your session, none of these changes will actually take effect. So it's important that you click save and make that modified go away. Okay, so I just click save. You don't have to click save after every change, but you do need to click save before you leave this page. Okay, go ahead and click on change if you would like to change the picture that will be displayed up here, as well as displayed down below where the online friends is. But that we don't see currently, but is normally down here in this portion of the screen. Click on change underneath the box that looks like a little silhouette, or in fact is a little silhouette. It will then pop up a new window in which we need to choose a file, and this will just pop up your typical operating system's file chooser dialog. Hopefully that you are familiar with that, and then you'll need to browse to where a picture is that you can use. If you noticed, there are some limitations on the picture. Let's go ahead and choose this picture of Tristan here. It's a JPEG, as denoted by the extension of JPG. Select choose, and now we see the file here next to the choose file. Again, we can either upload a GIF image or a JPEG image that is only 120 pixels tall, 100 pixels wide. Shouldn't be too difficult to come up with such pictures. In fact, many of you probably already have a picture associated with some other online account that could be used. Once you've done that, click save, and notice there is now a picture instead of the silhouette. Okay, let's move on to password. You can, if you so desire, change your password. You will need to know your current password, which you would type in here. And then you go to the next one, type in your password, your new password. And you need to type your password in twice to ensure that you didn't type it in wrong the first time. When you try to submit the information, it will tell you that, hey, wait a second, that these passwords don't match, which would be a really bad thing if you were to type in a password that you thought was, say, ABC, but you actually typed in ABD. You would be unable to log in then. All right, next is the organizations. There's really nothing you can choose here or change. This is something that is used for staff members who log into account, and it orients them into the organization of staff that they are. Communities, you can't change anything here, but you should see a list of all of the communities that you're a part of. User groups, again, something you can't change, but you should see a list of all the groups that you're a part of. Most of you won't have anything here except for what's under the communities. Same thing goes with role. Most of you should have an account that looks like this. You'll be part of the default account, but as time goes on, some of you may have more enhanced accounts allowing you to blog or maybe even be administrators of other communities. And then finally, if you would like to categorize yourself in a certain way, you can select from some categories. Currently, we have set no categories up for the portal, or you can add or select a tag. So maybe you want to be part of the how-to tag, and then maybe you want to create your own. So tags are just another way in which to provide mechanisms by which other people can search for your information. So totally up to you on what you want to do in this situation. All right, so that is the user information. I'm going to go ahead and click Save to show that we have completed and those modified things actually get modified and stored. Oh, it looks like I actually made a mistake in my password. So we have these messages across the top. I need to go again. I must have typed it in incorrectly. Now we click Save again. This time we still have an error. What I was trying to do this time was actually type in a password that is the same as the password that I was using before. So meaning my current password, I type that in, and then my new password, I use the same thing. And the system will not allow you to use the password that you've used in the past. So I'll create a new one. Click Save, and this time everything worked just fine. All right, let's go to the identification section and take a look there. We can add address information, and you can add as many addresses as you so desire. Let's just add a personal address as an example. We'll add in my address. We just need to add in United States, and then the region, which would be India. And we can identify this as either a primary or mailing address. And I'm going to identify it as primary. Okay, so now I have address information. If I want to add an additional address, I simply click on the plus button and it creates a new box for me to add a new address. Okay, but I'm going to remove that address. I can add new phone numbers. If I wanted to put in a phone number, let's say for the camp's phone number, you can just put 812-837-9423, call that the primary business number. And now we're updated. Again, if we wanted to add more phone numbers, maybe we wanted to add A mobile phone, you just add that in, and then we're good. We're going to go ahead and pull that one out because we're just going to have one in there. You can do the same thing with email addresses. We have our Tristan King Cox email. We'll make that our primary, and then we'll add another one. Just put mine in there. This won't be primary. We'll just call it email number 2. Move on to websites. The rest of the information underneath identification is not particularly necessary, but is information if you wish to share that with other members of the communities you're a part of, you can do so. That being websites or blogs that maybe you have and you would like to share that with people. Maybe you have a website in which you produce a lot of interesting information about scouting or your troop, or maybe I don't know, things that you write that you think might be helpful. Maybe you should go ahead and put that up here, and that way you can share it with other people. Your instant messenger, if you have instant messenger and you want others to be able to contact you this way, enter that in here. If you are part of other social network systems like Facebook or Twitter, maybe even MySpace, you can enter those in here, and other people will be able to view them and get your Facebook and Twitter information. Same thing with SMS. OpenID, a bit more complicated, but if you know what that is, you can enter your OpenID in here. All right, that's identification. I'm going to go ahead and click Save so that all that information gets saved. All right, now on to the miscellaneous. There's at least one, or actually there's 2 items under miscellaneous that are very important. We've already talked about one in another screencast. This is very important for those of you who are adult leaders and are planning on using the merit badge scheduling system. In order to do that, you will need to put your troop identification number into this box here. And notice how I got there. I clicked on custom field, and then it showed me all the custom fields, and then you would type in your troop identification key here. This identification key here doesn't go to anything, so those of you who think you've got a key to someone else's troop or that's just, if you watched the other screencast, you would have seen this was just gobbledygook that I typed in to explain how to do this. All right, so let's go back up to announcements. I consider this important because right now the default is that in order to receive any announcements or any information from the portal, you'll need to return to the portal to do that. It's probably advantageous to at least adult leaders and certainly staff members to check the email box next to news, because if we distribute information, that's how we're going to do it, and you will get notified by email if we've done so through the portal. There may even be some new types that we add as time goes on that we've learned that we need to have, but for now, certainly news. If you check the box for general, I think you'll get a lot more emails than you really want, but news will be those things. For example, say it's next year, it's January of 2012, and we've just completed that year's activity schedule, and we want to make sure everyone knows that it's now available on the portal for your viewing. We would post a news item indicating that, and if you have checked this email box, you will receive an email indicating to come to the portal and check out the new activity schedule. Okay, the final 2 items are display settings and comments. Display settings just allow you to change what your greeting is, and then your time zone. So for example, we're not in the universal time zone here. We are in Eastern Standard Time, and language is English. We'll leave the greeting as is. And comments are just comments that you might want to add about yourself here. You can make this box bigger if you like, if you've got a lot to say about yourself. All right, so again, don't forget to click Save to make sure that your changes are modified.